Hello everybody, it's Basilisk here, and welcome back to another episode of HermitPack. And here we are up on the little platform that, well, I was just about to get to at the end of the last episode. I've got pressing the wrong keys. Let's get into this mode. So, yeah, this is the platform that I was talking about that I was going to put above these little arms that come out. That's there now, but I'm actually wondering whether these need to be extended down further. And I might play around with that, because if you come back a bit... No, I don't want to do psi. I don't know how I don't know how I got to that, but if you come back a bit, then they seem a little bit inconsequential. So, yeah, I might extend those down a bit. That will also help to fill in a bit of the space. But I've built up from where we were here, built similar arches down the bottom, except these ones are slightly smaller, and I managed to give myself a lot more work to actually do this than what I necessarily needed to, because if you notice, this one here, if I can place down a block somewhere, is all within the single block, whereas this one up here is actually two half blocks. So a lot of it had to be not quite redone, but a lot of rejigging had to be done. So I've got that, and it continues all the way up to another platform at the top, and I repeated exactly the same as what I had down this level up there. So this actually works now. Let's go and take a look. So starting from the bottom here, you can look all the way up, and let's try shooting our way up to the top. So one, and land there, and up, and didn't quite make it. And I'm not sure why that is. This usually has been working for me. So let's try again. Go. Interesting. Well, that is a bit of a shame. That has been working, and I'm not sure why it's not working right now. So what I decided to do here was actually on the abstruse platform, I decided to add clear glass, which is just, if you have a look, clear glass is Tinker's Construct one. This one, and it was quite nice. It actually keeps its connected texture even though you're putting it on the abstruse platform. I was thinking of having glass along these edges here a bit to make it more circular, but the clear glass didn't have connected textures between the abstruse platform and the outside blocks, so that didn't really work. But what are we going to do this episode? I don't have my wigs on, so it's good I've got boots on. Let's get those out. So if you have a look in this bag, you can see some of the stuff that we'll be working with this episode. Well, we're not necessarily going to be working with all of this, but some of these colours we'll definitely be using. What I decided I need to do is there's a lot of blank space down here, and I want to put in some extra details there. And I decided to try out putting some banners here. And by banners, I'm not meaning your run-of-the-mill Minecraft tiny banner. We need something much more grand for a building of this size and for a space that big. So we're going straight to chisels and bits for this. Firstly, let's get... I think I will try gold. I was deciding between gold and bronze for this, but let's try gold. Why not? Seems like a great block to use. And let's take a whole lot of that gold. And what I want to do is build a banner that stretches down from the top there, coming down, I don't know, maybe to about there, maybe one block up from there. Something like that. So a pretty massive banner. And that's going to be connected up to this platform above it. So we need to figure out how we're going to connect it. And I think that's where the gold's going to come in. Let's go to 1/8 block size. And we want to go right in the middle. Gold does have an interesting texture when you get down to this level. And we'll put that there. Is that the middle? That is. That might actually be too thick. Okay, that's not the right spot. One of the things I'm really glad about chisels and bits is that they're really easy to take away as well as add. So yeah, that's too thick. Let's go with narrower. I like that size. That's a good size. And that was on that block there. I don't know, it might be better to actually move it out one this way. So let's do that. If I can get... no. If I can get in here. There. Like so. And then the same out the other side. There we go. That will be the poles that it's hanging off. Now we're going to have a bar going across this way, which is what it's going to be hanging from. So how are we going to do that? Well, I do want the end part to come out here. Maybe something like that will work. Well, we'll give it a go anyway. Start with that, and I'll do the same on the other side. So we've got a little shape like that, and a little shape like that. Like that. Now, the next part's going to be... we're going to have something that goes across between the two. And this is going to be... well, pretty much all hidden by the actual banner, except for if we go back to the 1/8 on the grid, that will probably come down slightly further. I might actually end up building this and then overlaying it with the wool that makes up the actual banner. So let's do that. We will add in probably small cubes. Oh no, that's still too big. Okay, it's going to have to be probably draw region. This is rather fiddly stuff, but I've actually managed to do that, and I think it looks pretty good. It's a good size and good look for a rather regal banner. So the next thing I want to make sure of is I actually want to make sure that the actual banner all lives within this 2 block space that we have here, which means I need to get it actually built right along this diagonal line. I'll show you what I mean. And what we're going to build it out of is wool. So let's grab out some wool. I'll do some green wool to match the other green that we've got in there, but I do want to add another colour in. And I've got ideas for other things to put on the banners, maybe some kind of pictures or something. It might end up being a bit too detailed, but we'll definitely see. So let's bring this down another one, and we can remove these two. I'll also just build myself a little platform to stand on. So I found with flying, sometimes you're moving around way too quickly to actually do detailed work. Okay, we need green wool. And blue wool. Green wool, blue wool. Okay, what we want to go into here is line mode. And we're going to place lines of this like so, all the way along there. Well, we're going to do a border around the outside in green. Will that be big enough? Yeah, I think that looks like it will be pretty good. And then blue lines we're going to bring across there. Like that. And all the way across. And there we go. Now I have to check whether I've got these. Yes. With two of these patterns, I can get a copy of that and a copy of that, and we can place these. I need to go into placement mode, like so, and down like that. One more down on both of them. We're still going to have to add a bottom pattern, which I think, like a lot of banners have, we're going to come down to little peaks on that, but we'll get into that in just a minute. Cool. Now, what we need to do is do the top part. This is a part I'm not 100% sure how it's going to work, so I'm going to start with getting a copy of what we've already got here. Just so that if I muck it up, I can get it back. So we've got, this is probably taking up quite a few spots, and they are in other blocks, which is a little annoying. Those ones, we have that one, and that one. Now I don't have to worry about those end ones, because what I'm going to do isn't going to go into those spots. But now if I get these, if I'm in placement mode, I can't. What happens if I place it in here? Okay, I can't place it. So I want to go into additive mode, I think, and click on that, and then it only adds the blocks that are in there. It doesn't actually remove the other ones. So that looks good. We are going to want to take anything, or I can just use my chisel, I guess. Switch to single bit mode and remove these. Along there. I might also remove those two. And we'll do the same thing over on this side. So that's this one here. We want to go into additive mode, and we're adding it to that block, and remove these. now we've got rid of those, and I also removed a couple of other pieces around there, but we can join these up with some more. Let's just undo the last few things that I did there because I'm in the wrong mode. Undo, there we go. Now we want to go into single bit mode. Make sure we're doing the right thing here. And make sure we've got all of those bits covered. So that side now looks like it's wrapped around. I'm going to continue doing the same thing like that along this middle and on that side there. Yeah, I think that is about what I was expecting when I was thinking of this top of this banner. And it's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I think the only part that's left to do now is actually the bottom down there. Though, maybe if we actually bring some extra gold around here, look like it's a bit more securely attached at the top. Like that, and again on this side as well. Yeah, that's it. That's definitely what I want there. As you can see, these chisel and bits allow you to do amazing things, but they do also end up taking quite a lot of time to do. So okay, that's down to here. Now we need to do the bottom part. First, let's remove these ones. I can remove in line mode, I think. If I go this way and click, yep, 2, 3. So the middle is there. I'm actually kind of glad that the wool texture is giving me that middle mark to actually see. What I'm going to try doing here is if I go into additive mode and go this way and place that, and with the other one, additive mode and like so, then I get some of the green that I will need in there. I won't do it down the bottom because I will probably be out of those spaces by this point. Let's now remove these. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is try and fill it in with what we're going to get the most of within that area. So like so. Now it's just going to be a whole lot of little detail work, which I'll need to do single bits for. Oh no, I can probably do draw region. So if I want to come in, like, it'll be about 6 blocks, maybe? And we're going across 1632. So about 5 in each. Let's go with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I start from there, yeah, actually I probably want to remove the first one altogether. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remove that. Okay, so I think I've got that done now, and yeah, if I do say so myself, that is looking pretty good, and definitely looking just a tad better than the Minecraft ones. Let's get rid of that. But yeah, I brought it down to the 2 points on the bottom there, and it is of a decent size, and it's quite good at filling in that gap. Now, I will be putting other banners as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the top as well. That might get a bit too repetitive, but probably 4 banners on the bottom layer. And you will notice, I mean, it looks interesting patterns that you sometimes get when you go far away, just due to the fact that there are lots of little lines going on there. I did have to make it difficult for myself by building it on the diagonal rather than straight across one of these ones, of course. But yeah, it turned out really well, and the gold works really well. I might still add something else into the banner. Might look good. But I think now that's all we're going to do on this for this episode. There's one other thing I want to do this episode, and for that, let's go to my map. Turn on the waypoint beacons, which I've had turned off, and I've had found a number of places where I thought I might build my out of spawn base. So, how about we just go and have a look at those ones? I'd like some input from the viewers as to what you'd like to see. Which of these environments we might be able to use, and what kind of a base should we look at doing? I think they are all... Oh no, there's one over here. Okay, off to the first one. So option number 1 is this little savanna plateau area, just mainly this one hill. It will be a based on a kind of a smaller scale, probably a lot of vertical work going into it, probably interesting paths and stuff like that, and probably do a lot of detail work because it will be on the smaller side. We could possibly branch off into the other hills around here to do other things. But yes, that's option number 1. Probably the smallest site, as it were. So let's go to option 2, which is this way. Okay, this is interesting. I will call this one option 1.5 because I just ran into it on the way between option 1 and option 2. But this land feature is quite insane and rather interesting. It could have quite an interesting area to build a base. I mean, in here, up through there. Wow. Oh, and even down there. Option 1.5 looks pretty good. Let's go on to, it's just over here actually, option 2. Again, we're in a savanna plateau. It's one of my more, one of the sites that I find more interesting. I like sites which have a lot of vertical space to play with, and savanna plateaus have that. Now this one has, again, a hole kind of in the middle and a ridge around the outside. It's got a lot of vertical space, and we can do a lot of things on the side of a hill and into the hill, because that's one of the options I was thinking about for my base. And I'd also like to have some feedback on what type of a base I maybe should build on this series. I've mostly been building above ground bases for a while, and I'm interested in maybe doing a underground or in the side of a hill, in and out of a hill, little bubbles coming out of a hill or what have you, something along those lines. I'm interested in that, and if anyone's got any ideas on like themes to go for, then yeah, put them in the comments as well. I'm really interested. Okay, this is option 2. Let's go have a look at option 3. Now for option 3 we come to an extreme hills area. It doesn't have as much vertical space to play with, but it does have some interesting features around. I do like this kind of overhang that we've got going on there, and just a few of the different hills that are around here. So that's option 3, probably one of my lesser liked ones, but let's go on to the next one. The fourth and final option that I had here was actually not that far away from Spawn. Spawn's just 350 meters that way. It's actually the back half of the big hill that you can see from Spawn. So there's that front part that you can see, and then there's the area down the back over here. So I don't know exactly where in here I'd go, but somewhere in amongst this extreme hills. So yes, let me know what you think about the different locations where we might build our main base. I'd like to get started on that, mainly so that we can get some of the automation stuff going that might help out with materials, and there are a lot of little things that I want to experiment with chiseling bits, and I want to try out mechanism because I haven't actually tried that before, so that will be one to give a go. But yeah, let me know which options you think might be good. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1.5, which was actually might now be my favourite out of all of those because it is rather interesting. Also, let me know what kind of theme we could possibly go for. I've thought of things like modern space themes, or could go for an ancient theme, medieval, steampunk. I mean, there's so many options, and I'm really interested in getting your feedback. So let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good week. Take care, and see you later. Bye!